This is Wakapezi from Pezline Entertainment, and September 30th was the launching of the Rentse Foundation right here in Los Angeles. And right here with me, I have Rentse, who is the founder of the Rentse Foundation. So, Rentse, can you just shed more light about what the Rentse Foundation is about and how you started this whole project to the launching today?
Yes. Thank you, Wakapezi.
You're welcome.
Pezline, for having me here. It's a privilege and honor. I am so delighted to be here in the United States and have people like you recognize and willing to take our motives and send it to the universe. I'm so grateful. When I started the Rentse Foundation, was 10 years ago when I first came to this country. My grandmother didn't have electricity. And my sister kept on calling me, your grandmother is going blind.
Oh,
And it went from she's going blind to she is legally blind.
oh.
Then I asked my sister, where is she? She said, she's in her house. And it's not so much that we know that, they have enough. She's in her house with those little children. And I asked her, I said, what does she need? Which is the most important question that we all need to be asking one another. What can I do for you? What do you need? Because somebody might need a simple thing that you have in your house. My mother used to say, cherish what you have, even if it's a thread, because your neighbor might have a needle for you to use it.
Wise woman there.
And your neighbor might need your thread while you need their needle. So what I'm trying to say is my grandmother was dying in the dark. What I did was I asked my sister, I said, go to the Power Corporation people. Tell them I want my grandmother to see the light for the first time. They made it possible. Of course, I had to pay lots of money, taking the advantage of United States dollars. But my grandmother had the light 3 months later prior to that time. After that, my grandmother made sure that she comes from the village. It doesn't matter what kind of transportation, but it took her the whole day to go to another village where there's actual phone call for her to call me. So when she called me, she said, thank you very much. Now I can die. You've allowed my death to come with light. I was afraid to die in the dark. Right at that moment, I knew there's lots of grandmothers that are gonna go the same way. I started talking to my mother. My mother took me to the next level, where she now went to the areas where I can go. Talk to these old women. Ask them the same question that today I want every woman to ask another woman, what can I do for you? And my mother did so, and she found an old woman who lost all her 4 children. All her 4 children. And they left all the little 2-year-old, 3 months, 5 months. It all came to my mother at once. That's when I knew my mother had me to help her fulfill her own mission. Because I grew up seeing what she's doing. And I'm exactly doing the same thing my mother is doing, is taking care of others. That is why the Rentse Foundation was formed. Mainly, it's a challenge. It's a challenge because I came to United States not with less knowledge, with full amount of knowledge of the reason why I'm lucky. Luck to me prepares you to destiny, to prosperity. So when somebody tells you you're lucky, look deeper. Luck prepares you to the person you are meant to be. And
like
that
that.
person is me today because I'm
I
blessed.
like that. You know, that's really good. That's just a very,
I'm very,
very
very
good
blessed. Through
concept.
my grandmother's thank you. And we all can do it. We all can do it. I came here 10 years ago. When I arrived here, I had $17 in my pocket. That $17 was for me to get me to Sacramento, where my friend was, because I came to the United States just with a map, excuse me, with a map, or today we can say map quest, where you get to San Francisco. San Francisco, you have to take a Greyhound, go to that Sacramento. That's where I first came to United States. I was in Sacramento. I lived with some friends, but in my heart, I kept on telling myself, I do not want to die with the dream. I just witnessed last year, something killed my soul, just a little bit of it. I watched Michael Jackson die. Coming from Africa, Michael Jackson was Michael.
I mean, this
I can't even duplicate
legend.
him.
I mean, it's
I
like
can't say any other words, but coming from Africa, I knew Michael was destined for greatness. Today, as we speak, I watched Oprah and Kelly Rowland. She wrote the Harry Potter. They were both talking about the phenomena. There's certain phenomena in life that attacks us and is there to take our lives. And there is certain phenomena that we get to experience that is actually taking us to the real beauty of life. The reason why I say this is Michael Jackson died with a dream. I didn't want to die with a dream. I saw Michael Jackson's words, if they were his. He died saying, I want to build the biggest hospital in the world that every children will be healed. He died, he never did that. How many people die with the dream? I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to die with the dream inside of me, when I know that is as powerful as something that is there for me to share.
very impressive. And, you know, which is just like an example of what you've done, you know, by launching the Rentse Foundation. Is very, very inspirational. And I'm very, very proud of you personally, Rentse, because you know what? It's like you concerned about others.
Yes.
You know, you other people that don't have, you know, the opportunity that you
The
probably
means.
exactly.
Yes.
And you know, and it just touches my heart to
Yes.
think like, you know, you can devote yourself. And there are a lot of people out there that are millionaires, billionaires, and you know what? You can do something about it. You know, you don't have to wait to be a billionaire to make a change. You start with a step, with whatever you have. It's the thought that counts. So I'm really proud of you, and I know there are a lot of people out there that have more money than you, but they haven't taken that step. And to me, I think it's really an honor to be, you know, invited to this occasion to realize that a fellow human being can look at others. And I think it's very uplifting and it's very inspirational. And I wish you luck, and I wish you all the best in your endeavor, and to know that you're not alone. We'll walk together and we'll make this world a better place.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rentse, so much.
I really do appreciate this. And with me, before I leave, Jimmy mentioned something. We met with the presidential candidate, Mr. Chipimo. He left me with the word. I will never forget this. He said, Rentse, in life, God does not choose the people that are only qualified. God qualified the chosen people. Then I went to the Bible to find out why he used God. Because it's not too many people that I talk to that say God. So when I went to the Bible, on 2nd John chapter 1 to 2, it speaks about to the most elected lady and her children. And it is just that one sentence. I adapted it. I made it mine. I wanted to be elected, not only by God, but by people like you, who is a family, who says, yes, I'll stand by your side for us to go further with this, that understands me. When I first started the Rentse Foundation, we were 8, because most women here that I met, they were very, very excited. We're going to go to motherland with you. We're going to go to motherland with you. I got very excited. I mean, we talk about the Chinese people going to Africa, and we talk about any other issues that are covering Africa today. We need people like Chinese people today, because the rest of everybody abandoned us.
That's true.
We were colonized by the Brits. The Brits needs to be the one that are over there, like Chinese people. But it seems like it went to white people colonized America. British people colonized Africa and the Caribbean. Now it's Chinese people. Seems like we are losing our cultural and family values to adapt what's new, and we are forgetting that we exist. So to say this is, I want everybody that is blessed enough to have the visa and the passport to come to United States, to have the same feeling as those Chinese people having, live in their own China country, to go to Africa. We can all do the same. Because everyone that is here in the United States is very smart. African people have only farmers. If I go there to try and talk politics or talk about anything that developments, new developments, they're in the farms. When they come back in the evening, they're tired. That's what they know. So who is bringing the new technology to our children? Who is bringing the new infrastructures to our children? It's the Chinese people. So whenever I deal with people intellectually and whenever I deal with people economically, I close borders. We all need each other. You go to China today, you listen to a Chinese woman who lived 20 years ago, who had the only little girl. She said, my little girl is in the grave. Why was she killed? Because China don't believe on girls. But in Africa, I'm a girl. I wasn't killed. So the pain of that family in China that had to lose their little girl touches me to say, what if my parents lost me and nobody is there as the Rentse Foundation to speak for those children?
So it's a universal love you get. It's not discriminating. It's like, you know, you're looking at a human being. We are all humans, and I really get the point. We're all human.
The same color blood.
Blood, yeah. Though we might have a different color, different coating, you know, we all the same. We're human beings.
We are. And I realized that when I first came here, because when I first came to the United States, I came here content. I didn't come here to scout. Oh, let me go see what a first world country look like. No. Some of us were really blessed to acknowledge our ancestors that were very powerful. So I came from a powerful family. I can't come here to claim poverty or third world or that kind of stigma.
You know, exactly. You know, you don't want people to feel sorry for you, and that's one thing I'm against about getting donations and everything. It's just the same thing as the welfare here. You know, where somebody thinks they can give you a little change to survive, but it messes up with your, you know, your dignity, you know, your self-confidence and everything, because, you know, you have something to offer to the world. So it's like nobody's not doing you any favor. You have the same gift that God has given everybody.
Yes.
Whether be the president of America, you're the same God that created, is the same person. So you're not less of a human being than, you know, so you have to just thank God for every day that you live, that you have,
Right.
you're alive, and just to know that
Right.
whether somebody else thinks like you're
Right.
less, that's their
Right.
problem. You
Right.
know, you have to deal with God, because
Right.
the same God who created the president of the United States of America is the same God that created me. So it's my fault if I choose to be a lesser of a human being just because I think society, we are all the same. We are all human beings. So we
Yes.
have to acknowledge the gifts that God has given us.
Absolutely. And with me, I've been humbled since I learned that 90% of people in my country don't have electricity. And here, you go to the bathroom, there's electricity in the bathroom. Over there, there's no electricity in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the toilet, in the living room. There's none. It's dark. So I learned to humble myself first. Not to humiliate myself,
Yeah.
but to humble myself in the presence of God first, and to humble myself in the presence of American people. American people need us as much as we need them.
It's
It
true.
takes
It's true.
one to ask them, what can I do?
They're
for
just
you? Then
human.
you
They're
realize
just human.
We are the same.
No, you know what? They're just human. Just as
Yes.
much as we suffer,
Yes.
I go around America, I see people in America
Yes.
suffering.
Yes.
So it's like, it's really, it's not the question
We are
of saying
all
we are
in this
all,
together.
we are all in this together. Just as
Yes.
much as the people, what we're saying is like, God has given us enough capital.
Yes.
Or to live on. There's no need for us to be, going starving or
Absolutely.
dying of
Yeah.
poverty.
Even though I stopped using that, God gave me enough.